Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. Dale and I are back as we discuss The Dead Room, directed by Jason Stutter. A family flees a haunted New Zealand farmhouse. Scientists and a psychic investigate encountering a malevolent spirit guarding the house's mysteries at all costs. Sorry about the delay, folks. We're having wibbly wobbly stuff in the background for some reason. Our platform.
Bloody technology. Oh my
Oh, they're
gosh.
messing us about. Let me just check that we're actually live.
Yeah.
That'll be a thing. So obviously, if you're coming back after the fact, the link that we shared around is not working because what an absolute pile of.
Yep, that's what happens.
Oh,
Bastards.
we're live. Sweet. We're out
Yay.
on the right near
Oops.
the web. Sorry, feedback.
Yep.
We're live in the interwebs. At least that's something. Because there was that time before we did an entire stream and it didn't go live. And everything here was showing us that we were live. And even Chris popped up in the chat, but it turns out he was in the waiting room. And you're like, huh?
I know. We couldn't even answer him. Well, we answered him. He just couldn't
Yeah,
see
but that
it.
was the thing, because we thought we were live, and then it wasn't. And everything here was telling us it was all good. And yeah. I hate this sometimes. Sometimes you just, I was just saying there, I talk to a lot of people about when you hit the wall, how do you push through? And it's things like this that really get me.
Yep.
Because everything's just working against you. And you've done nothing wrong. You've done everything. You've set it up. You've done all the work. And then something just goes wibble and it's completely out of your control and you can do nothing about it.
No.
And then you just think, why bother? Like,
yeah.
I
know.
Because thing is, we both put the time in, both watch a movie, both take notes, we're both ready to do a review. It's not like we're just sitting in front of the TV going, there's work involved in getting this all set up. And then when things go wrong, I guess you're just like, why am I bothering? Now to top it all off, YouTube is up to shenanigans.
Certainly is.
They don't want us on their platform. They want TV stations and TV channels.
Yeah.
And they want celebrities.
Stuff they can take. Yeah.
But here's the thing. During the lockdowns, Hollywood celebrities all tried to go on YouTube and they failed.
Miserably.
They absolutely tanked. All the big stars tried to start a YouTube channel and they all died a death because nobody gives a shit because they have nothing to say. Unless it's written down on a piece of paper in front of them, they have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Why is the platform going like that? And then they're hiding their stuff. They're hiding because the subscribers are going up, but the views aren't. And I keep tabs obviously on what's going on and news articles and so forth. And they're effectively hiding the streams. Now, when something like this happens, you start thinking, is this another thing they're doing just to mess with us?
Yeah.
And you start getting paranoid and going, well, why am I fighting this fight? Or why am I trying to do this when everything's against you? But then that's part of the joys of being an independent creator as well, because the mainstream's always going to be the mainstream. They've got the money in the back pocket, and it doesn't matter how crap it is, they'll throw money at it and make it stick.
Yeah.
And we have to fight tooth and nail to get every view, every purchase of a book. Like, you have to beg people. You have to, like, proper hustle to get any sort of traction. And every victory, every person that joins is a victory. And it has to be hard won. And you have to, like, constantly put yourself out there. We don't have the luxury of a marketing team to go, yeah, you take care of that. And people are paid 8 hours a day, to do it.
Yeah.
This is it. We all.
That's right. And they want us to share their stuff and they want us to do all this and that, but they don't want to help us. It's like there's no communication. There's no one you can go and talk to. There's no tech help. There's no notifications that something's happened. And, it's a wonder people want to still keep on YouTube, but we've got no other choice because all the other platforms are shit. So
that's the thing, because I've looked I pared back this year. If you remember from the conversation at the birthday stream, that was the thing this year, was paring back I was trying to spread wide and try all the other platforms, but it was more of a hassle to upload them. And you try and upload a video. Oh, it's too big. It's too this. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't do short videos. I'm not
Right.
TikTok dances. I'm not doing that shit. We're here to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So, sorry if you don't like that, but that's what the platforms want. They want the easily digestible fluff that doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
And you're like,
plus, like you and I mean, I'm on premium. I'm sure you're on premium YouTube, of course, as well. And you expect a good service. I mean, we're paying for it.
No, I don't pay for YouTube. No, I'm not paying them.
Oh, I do. No, I have to. I can't watch ads. That's why I left TV, because ads just do my head in. They really do. Like,
yeah,
so I pay for it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like when something goes wrong, it's like, well, you can't go to Consumers New Zealand and go, your YouTube's not working properly, and I'm paying $18 a month for the service. There's no one to go to. It's just like you pay the money, and if they fuck up, well, they do it. If they stuff up, we can't do anything about it. And I just hope they sort it out. But every year they do these purges as well, and they get rid of your subscribers, and it's just like, why?
So what they do is they don't show. So even if you're subscribed, they're not showing people their videos.
No.
So you can be subscribed and you'll not see any of the videos. And then what they do is they purge the subscribers because say they're not watching anything.
That's
and
right.
They're effectively doing it. And you're like, what the hell?
I know. It's like they keep changing things. And then Facebook goes and changes something, so it makes it harder to share YouTube videos because of Facebook. And it's like, oh God, blimey!
I hate Facebook as a platform. I do.
I know. I need it. I need it though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's because that's where most people are. But at the same time, they're run by arseholes.
Yeah.
And the thing is set it up to do. Then they want that. They want the curry favor, but the small little group who are irrelevant now. Nobody gives a shit about mainstream TV.
No, nobody does. Because it's not even there. There's no TV. It's crap.
No, but it's only pensioners now that watch TV.
Yes, that's right. People who can't afford cable or internet or anything, they just watch, random TV shows and all that sort of stuff. And, well, at least it's there for them. But, for the average person, we don't want to watch TV. We don't want to watch ads.
Yeah.
So.
But I understand the ads, basically, if that pays for it. But the other thing is that big company. Have you seen an ad on YouTube for anything you actually want? I know as we're starting off on a tangent because I'm in a bad mood because there's a load of hassle here before starting. So I need to get this off my chest before I even start this movie, or else I'll just be grumpy old man.
Yeah.
Have you ever been advertised anything on YouTube or Facebook you actually want?
Only when they've heard my conversations. Like if I'm like talking about a new vacuum cleaner, a vacuum cleaner will pop up. But
how often do you shop for new vacuum cleaners?
No, exactly. But it does happen once in a while.
For 10 ads a day, do you know what I mean? Minimum.
No, it's Temu ads. I don't buy shop from Temu. Is Temu even a thing anymore?
That's basically the new Wish.
That's right. It is.
I mean, that's all it is. It's just the. Now, don't get me wrong. Wish had some fun stuff. See, like for costumes and stuff, it had some fun stuff, but I've never bought anything important from it.
No, gosh, not anything that you're going to use on your teeth or anything on your skin because you don't know where the hell it's come from. But
clothes, right? You know what I mean? I used to buy like little things for costumes and stuff when I used to go to like events and stuff. That was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, Temu's the new thing. Yeah.
But that's the thing. There's nothing to advertise that I'm after.
No, that's why I pay premium because I don't want to watch YouTube videos that have got ads in them, and I just don't like it. So I pay for it because I don't want to see the ads because I watch a lot of YouTube, as you probably know. So I couldn't.
So I watched tons of it. The only time I paid was, do you remember before premium was YouTube Red?
Yes.
And that's because the first season of Cobra Kai came out and I had to like pay it.
All right.
That was it, but there was nothing else apart from that show. There was nothing else to make me want to watch YouTube.
Fair enough.
Pay for the premium thing.
Pay for the premium. Yeah.
I don't know. It's all a mess. It is all a mess at the moment. I hope you understand out there that we get nothing for this. It actually costs to be doing
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
It costs time, effort, and actual money to make
Yes,
this
people
happen.
don't realize that, we watch the film and we don't watch it just because we're watching it. We're watching it because we're reviewing it. So there's lots of technicalities we're looking at, and then, write up notes, and then we look at the, research some of the actors and cast. Maybe there's a lot that goes in. Then you do the social media side of stuff and you promote the stream coming up, and then they go and stuff up your stream. So people go and head on, oh, let's go see Colin and Dell, and bang, head on the stream, and it's like, oh, they're not even
And
there.
I'll be still sitting there on YouTube as if it's waiting to start, and now we're on a different link.
Exactly.
Oh, it winds me up. It does. It just makes me angry as hell, honestly. And like I said, these are the days, 100% transparency, because like I said, I talk to creators all the time, and one thing I always talk about is, when do you feel ready to give up, and how do you push through? And this is one of the moments that makes me go, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. Just in my head, the thought goes in there, why am I wasting my time? But then again, Dale's sitting here with me. We're about to have fun talking about a movie. This is something to look forward to every time we catch up.
Yeah.
That's everybody. I've got my friends that I've built with the channel. You guys that are here now, and I see you in the chat as well, Chris. I'll bring up in a wee second. But do you know what I mean? You guys make it worthwhile. That's what makes this.
Thank you.
Do you know what I mean? We're sitting here, we're having, if nothing else, we're sitting here having a natter, having a bit of fun. We're just decompressing for an hour or two. But you guys I see the wee counter up there, so it doesn't tell me who's on YouTube or Twitch, but I see yous are up there watching. That's what makes this worthwhile. That's what makes you realize, no, there's people actually enjoy this. There's people turn up. So it makes it worthwhile doing. Even if it's only a handful of people, at least somebody gets something from us doing this.
Yes.
So it's not a waste of time.
It's not. You are not wasting your time at all. No.
Yeah, but it's just,
I
you
understand.
feel it, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Because we want to go on at 8, and there's technicality problems, and I can see you stressing out, and I'm like trying to tell you to calm down, but how can I tell you to calm down when it's your situation you're going through? So all we can do is sit here and support you.
You know yourself. You've got your own channel.
Yeah.
You've been through the same things.
Yeah. Definitely. But I don't have the issues you do, because you do lives and you do all that sort of stuff. So
no, but that's part of the,
my heart goes out to you.
No, but you know what I mean? You're doing it as well. You're trying to set up the interviews and all, and you're finding that, you're working your way through that. You're just,
that's right.
You're in the same trajectory, Dale. You just started a bit later. It's just because I have a couple of thousand videos ahead of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but no kidding.
You're going to get there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Every time you step up, every time you move up a level, there's that level's problems.
Yes,
and that's always the way of doing this. And this is
always
as this channel is geared towards independent creators, and I think that's a lot of people that watch what we do here. You're going to hit these problems, and I think it's just worthwhile taking a minute to explain to people, we're going through a problem right now.
Yep.
But we're here.
Yep.
We got through it. It's done. I'll fix all the stuff in the background afterwards so that the right video shows up with all the bits and pieces.
It's a lot of work.
But it's, it is fixable. It's we're here now, we're live, we're out. There's people talking. That's what matters. We got past that bit. But if you're thinking about doing this sort of stuff, you're going to come across this. You're going to come across a technical issue. Internet's going to go down. The platforms, it may not be if you're making. Like, this is completely out of our hands. It was the platform decided to arse up.
Yep.
Nothing we could do.
Yep, that's right.
But you just got to push on. And it doesn't matter whether it's YouTube videos or books or anything else. It's getting through that bit.
Yes, it is.
And
having trust in yourself and your abilities, and that you can pull through, and you can, as long as you've got the right supportive people that are sitting there next to you while these are happening. I mean, if you had a new person on here going, oh God, you're stuffing up the stream and blah, 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 that would, Oh,
That has happened to
God,
me.
I know.
First year, a couple of interviews I did with authors, I got kicked out of my own stream because I had a different
Oh,
internet provider and they were shit.
jeez.
And they kept cutting me out.
Jeez.
And there was another one, just God, what's it called?
Recently, you couldn't even be on your video. I
Oh
mean, you
God, you
weren't
remember
even
that? Yeah, I couldn't
there.
even show in video.
Yeah. Yes.
And that was like
Yes.
3
So
streams. I had, and because of the
that's right.
tight schedule we have here, there was like 3 streams in a row I wasn't actually on, and 2 of those streams were new people I'd never met before.
Yes.
What a first impression, eh?
Sucks, eh?
But do you know what I
Fucking
mean?
buggers.
This sort of
I
crap
know.
happens. It's what you have to go through, and the strength is to push through the other side.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
the big takeaway from this is this is always going to come at you. There's always going to be something. It's getting through to the other side of it, and like, oh, that was a bit crap last week, but yeah, back to normal.
It is.
Don't let it
Yeah, and
break you.
it's life, isn't it, really, at the end of the day? We have our ups and downs, and how we handle a crisis is what makes us stronger, you know, and yeah, pushes us through. We get there in the end, so.
But anyway, we're here to talk about The Dead Room.
Yes.
I made a mistake as well because I was looking up the director for Perfect Creature. So I'd actually
Yes.
set the stream up for Dead Lands, which is a movie we are going to cover. And I mixed the two
Oh,
titles up because The Dead Room, The Dead Lands is, Thirst Breath.
that's right.
So I had it. If you hadn't said to me last time we were talking, The Dead Room, I'm
The
like,
Dead Room.
something twigged out. I better go double check this. Oh shit, right. I've nearly watched the wrong movie.
Yes, because you had me confused too. I was like, so because when I got off the stream the first time we said it, that we were looking for the Dead Room, I went straight ahead and looked for it so that I could see whether or not I could find it. So that's why I remembered the name. Yeah, so yes, it's really
then that's
weird
why I
the
keep
two
that
have.
little document up that we share between us
Yes,
with the movies and then a link so that if something
yes,
goes squirrely, there it is in the document. Click the link, go back.
yep,
This is where you learn to have all these backups and stuff. But yeah,
yes.
the Dead Room. This is an interesting one. I really feel like this should have been a short rather than a full movie.
Yeah, I mean, it only went for about an hour and 20 minutes. I really think they could have cut off 15, 20 minutes at the beginning.
Thanks. No, I'm just bringing these up while you're talking, then I'll say thanks to everyone. Keep going.
Oh, what was it talking about?
You're just saying that, could have shaved some time off it?
Yeah, could have shaved some time off it. God, my
Sorry,
memory.
I'm just catching up with the chat just so people know I'm not forgetting about them while you're talking.
That's okay. We can catch up on the chat first if you want. Yeah.
No, kind of. Yeah.
No?
Yeah. I felt like this was a short movie that was maybe extended out.
It was the bits with the equipment. I think that went on too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the beginning I think went on a bit too long as well. So I can see why 45 minutes short would have probably been better, but you can see the fluffing around in it. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
However, for a movie involving essentially 3 characters, like I didn't feel like I was slogging through it.
No, not at all.
There's some movies like 2 hours long and they've loads of characters and you feel like you're paying parents going through it to get to the end.
Yeah.
This was okay. My biggest complaint was that they miscast Holly.
Oh, did they? What?
I don't know what they were trying to do with her, but
I know what they're trying to do. Relatability. They're trying to make it appealing to a younger audience because they've got 2 older men in there. Of course, that's not going to appeal to a certain audience. So they wanted to bring in a young chick that would, make it relatable for younger people. And at the end of the day, it failed.
It's not that sort of movie anyway. And honestly,
no,
I don't know about you. I'm done with the late teenage, early 20s goth girl type. I think that's such a worn out trope.
It is. Yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
Holly this should have been a team.
Yeah.
But the thing
They're
is,
thrown
there's a
together.
Conjuring series. There's uh Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. They're
Yep,
older.
Patrick Wilson.
They play the Warrens.
Yep.
And I don't think, like, Vera's not a young girl, but she's beautiful. And
Oh,
she really
she
embodies
is.
that character. Patrick's a good looking bloke. He's
Yes.
older. They play the parts well. They have the chemistry between them as an
Yes.
older couple.
Yep.
So I don't
Yep.
see the problem there. I'm just using that as a relevant,
No, there's
cross
no
section.
problem. I know what you mean.
If
Yeah,
there had been
yeah.
a team of 3 that's worked together for years, I think this would have been better because then they wouldn't have needed as much fluff and there could have been
Yep.
more character acting.
Yep, absolutely. I don't know if they pulled the concept off yeah, no, I don't think so. When I first saw her, I thought, are you joking? Did you bring your daughter along to a paranormal investigation? And to find out they weren't even related and they'd just been like chucked together to do an investigation. That's
Well,
bullshit.
Scott and
Scott and Liam.
Scott and Liam have worked together for years.
Yes, but
and they were
why
able
did
to
they
pull
bring
that
on?
chemistry off of the script.
Yes.
But then you've got this sultry teenager, like even at the opening scene, they drive up and she doesn't even have them in the bags. And you're like, oh, what is this?
A spoiled millennial, seriously. I don't know what they were thinking.
Now, in fairness, like she didn't do a bad job. Like when it came to her part, but it's just all the impressions, and it's that sort of what is this, and it really feels forced.
Yep.
I don't want to slag the actress off because she's done nothing wrong in this. You know what I mean?
Oh no, she was great. She was great. Yeah,
I'm
but she wasn't right.
She played a great role. So don't get me wrong. That she was just miscast for this film.
It didn't make sense. Yeah, for someone so young to take on demonic energies like that as well. I mean, I'd say she's only 21, 20. What does she know? What experience does she have?
But also, you don't throw someone like that in. That's somebody that would be mentored. Now, if they had a 4th member of the cast, a more seasoned psychic, and she was learning under her.
Yeah, but then she would be redundant. So, yeah, miscasting. That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling that at all. I just thought.
No. Even her walking around the house going, oh, I can feel this and I can feel that. And I'm thinking, are you joking to these guys? Are you just pretending you're a psychic? You know, she's not believable. No. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry to the actress because she was actually really good. But she was definitely not cast right.
I think it would have been better if it was like a university project.
Oh yeah, well that would have worked
either
out.
Cast her with younger compatriots,
a younger cast,
it would have fitted. But these 2 are seasoned ghost hunters. I think an older seasoned psychic with them, and they've done investigations and they've actually found stuff, and then they could have had that story to relate to.
Yes.
And this being something they haven't encountered before would have tidied up. They wouldn't have needed as much fluff.
Yeah. I think what happened here was that, sometimes backstory's not good, but I think in this case, some backstory would have been good to give us an idea why they chose her to be part of their team, a 20-year-old to be part of their team. I really wanted to know that because there was no discussion about why she was chosen and all that sort of stuff. Not really. So... yeah,
it had time to do it. I think that's a
frustrating thing. They did.
This is not a fast-paced film.
No.
This is a slow burn.
It's a very slow burn, but then when the first jump happens, whoa, wow. That was cool.
But even at the start, like, the house looks like a tiny cabin. It looks like the Evil Dead cabin.
It does.
It looks and then they open the door.
Bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You open the door in this massive corridor, you're like, huh?
Yeah. It's like the Twilight Zone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
no,
wanted to. I think that's been superimposed because I wanted to. You never got a side shot
yes.
of the house.
No, you don't. No. Yeah. So you can tell they've just taken. Yeah, they've used somebody's old cottage or something or other, and they've definitely set up a set as such. I think
Yeah,
I'd probably say, yeah, they set up a set, and no, I wasn't expecting that. So it kind of was like the Twilight Zone. You know, you go, there's a little house, but it goes on forever and ever, sort of thing. I mean, how many bedrooms do they have? Like 6 bedrooms or something ridiculous? I don't
well, it's
know.
a full-on family, and it's like a
Yes,
long corridor, and I know it's like a bungalow. It's one level, but still,
yeah, and the other thing was that, okay, it's got a smashed window on the front, but the people that were actually living there just literally did a runner, and it's like, you're bringing up a baby and children in this house? Oh my
and there's no
God,
way
call
that's
the
degraded because they're
police.
still trying to paper and stuff, and you're like, no, that thing
Yeah,
needed gutted, fumigated, and
it,
painted before anybody even moved in.
yeah.
Now, here's the thing that I have no sympathy for this family, fictional family in this whatsoever. That bird cage is far too small for 3 budgies. And who
Oh
leaves their birds
God,
behind when
yeah.
it's in a
Yeah,
carrion thing? You arseholes. You deserve
yeah.
everything that happens to you.
Yep, absolutely. You deserve to be haunted by demonic entities.
Yeah.
Seriously, when I saw those birds, I was like, "Oh no, Colin's not going to watch this. He's going to turn it off."
And do you
I
know, the
watched
thing
it.
is,
I checked the credits. They had a trainer and a handler.
oh,
So
I don't doubt
yeah.
that they were just put in that for the
But
purpose,
who
but
puts 3 budgies in a tiny cage and then they left it behind? They left them behind. Who the hell did you think was going to feed your birds? The ghosts?
yeah.
I mean, God, that's like leaving your dog and your cat behind. Birds are just, it was just like, and then I had to wonder why. Why did they even have birds in there? What was the point?
I was waiting for something to happen to the birds. Like,
Yeah,
I'll not
me
lie, the whole
too.
movie, it feels like, the setup, the wooden plank.
Yes,
It's like the
yes,
dog in the first Conjuring, you knew something was gonna happen to the dog, or in the
exactly.
medieval horror remake, you knew something was gonna happen to the dog. They've set it
Yeah.
up. Hang on. I thought the second movie, but are you talking? Hang on. There's not a second movie to this, is there? Or are you talking about the second Conjuring? Same, we're on a bit of
Probably second
a cross
Conjuring.
reference. Are you
Yep,
talking about this?
he's probably talking about that. Yeah,
All right,
he
okay,
loves
yeah.
The Conjuring. He loves The
The first
Conjuring.
one, I still haven't watched that all the way through without pausing.
Really?
It's so slow and right. The start's okay, and then you got this whole middle bit that you're just like, can we get to do something now? And then Valak appears
Yeah.
finally at the end, and I've still I zone out about halfway through The Conjuring. I zone out. It
Oh
is
my goodness.
so. Here's
Oh,
my
I
problem:
watched
jump scares don't do it for me, right?
well, there aren't
I
enough
need
jump
a
scares.
mystery getting solved.
Yeah,
Just
true.
going. I hate, and this is a trope of mainstream movies is snore, 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 snore. 15 minutes full on action. That's
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 right.
most of those type of movies.
Yep, you're right.
There's no mystery being unraveled. It's like jump scare, just boogie boogie boo boo boo. Oh, I found the magic book that explains everything. Flick flick flick. Right, blah, beat the demon. Blah, mystery solved. End of movie. Set up for sequel. It's the same pattern over and over, and I just I zone out.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. The first time I watched The Conjuring, I was scared. I thought it was awesome. Yeah, but anyway, jump
I
scares.
think
You're
my
right.
brain's
I mean,
broken. I think I've just watched too many horror movies. Honestly.
well, yeah, possibly. Yep, you're too desensitized now.
That's why I don't. Oh, yeah, he was talking about The Conjuring. Okay, want to make thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, just wanted to
yeah.
clarify because it's like
Is there a
I'm
part
not
two?
watching another one of these unless it's
Yeah, no,
this does not warrant a sequel. I know they tried to tease
no,
it at the end credits.
no, definitely not. It would have been a disaster. Yeah.
Also, right, pitching a tent outside in the garden would be more hygienic than staying in that absolute rat hole.
Yes,
No,
I agree.
I'm like, my skin was crawling, and when she's lying on the bed, I'm like,
God.
no.
No. It's like it's her own bedroom at home. I was just like, girl, what are you doing? You should be sleeping with the guys, you know? You should be all in the same room. You never separate in an investigation.
But also, they brought camp beds.
Well, yeah, exactly, right?
And she's lying on the dusty, minging. Like, if anything's gonna gather a musty house where the windows are broken and the elements are coming in, that mattress is gonna be heaving with everything. Like, that's the true horror of this, is that mattress in bed that she's lying on. You're like, oh God, no. And dear. I'm just like, no. And I watched the movie today for Sunday that's the same, and I'm like, oh God, no. That's me freaked out. Like,
yeah, they do it to freak people out. Most definitely.
It works.
Yeah, it
because
does.
Honestly, I'd be the marigolds and the bleach and just.
I couldn't stay in there. There's no way. I'm a germaphobe. I wouldn't even walk on that floor. Oh, God.
There's a scene flip sake. She's stripped down the shorts and stuff, walking about barefoot in the place. You're like, no, flip flops. That's like Veruca City.
Oh God, yeah.
No.
People. No. Yeah, no.
Sorry, that's
yeah.
Like...
That's all wrong, and that's why she was the wrong cast as well, because it was just wrong. It was bonkers. Yeah. Some of the stuff's just ridiculous.
Hang on, I think I want to believe in us or in a, like, tangents, right?
That's Jay. Hey, Jay.
Right, Jay. Okay, I know there's The Conjuring Last Rites is coming out, right? That's fine. What I mean is, we don't need a sequel to this movie under any circumstances. This movie that we're talking about is just not worth a sequel, and they've tried to tease for one. Yeah, that's
not gonna happen.
Just to clarify there,
yeah.
I know, sort of, because it's a paranormal, that's sort of the closest, most relevant thing I can think of to compare it to.
Yep. Haunted house. Yep.
Imagine this being a short story for like the first anthology, and we have to read through this. I don't know what.
I don't know how. Yeah. There's too much going on.
Imagine 5,000 words of this.
Nothing happened. Exactly.
Maybe work better as a short story. Just.
Yeah.
Right. There's no bond between these three people. That's the thing. That's the big spatter in the works here. Is we've got two people who've worked together, and this random girl that there's no explanation for why they've brought her. And if these people have done this for a long time, they don't have a network execs that they use or somebody they've trusted brought into the team and they've been doing this for years. Doesn't make sense. It's a big spanner in the work. It's just
it doesn't make sense at all. No.
But,
no, the minute I saw her, really, I actually thought she was a ghost. I thought she was a ghost in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just like, okay, so first I thought she was a ghost, then she spoke, and then I was like, oh, she must be one of their daughters. And then it's like, well, no, actually, she's just a random. And it's like, well, that's why I was like, well, explain it. Who is she? Why is she with you guys? But, it just didn't work out like that.
Yep. And then we'll have 30 minutes. I think it's 30 minutes before the first bump of them setting up, and Dale's going to explain every bit of equipment because I haven't a Scooby that they set up.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you.
You know all about the paranormal stuff. You explain every bit of equipment. They went into finite detail. Oh, by the way, this is sponsored by Apple. If you haven't noticed, the movie's sponsored by Apple because product placement is everywhere.
I know, right? And no, Velma, I'm sorry, but that equipment is too outdated for me to recognize any of it except the baby monitors. That was like 2010. I mean, come on, why are you using baby monitors?
Do you think it was
I mean,
maybe budget?
well, yeah, obviously, but those, I mean, those cost quite a bit. Those Nest cams, those little, and I mean, I see a lot of people use it on paranormal investigations. But this guy Scott, he's a scientist, so he's gone and made up his own blimmin' equipment to scientifically capture the particles to make it a solid ghost. And it's like, how the hell are you going to do that? So they've got all the meters and all the paranormal stuff, but it's all outdated. It's all outdated. So I'm not too sure when they're supposed to have like had the set. I mean, even the cell phone she was using looked like it was 2010s. So maybe that's what. Actually, I didn't see when this movie was made.
That's what I'm about to. This was.
Oh, I checked everything else except that. That might
2015.
explain it. Right, that explains
2015.
it.
Right.
So that was before all the cameras came out, all the new devices and all that sort of
Yep.
stuff. So it's ancient stuff. The other thing is there was no power to the building. So they were using lots of batteries and the generator and stuff like that. I think that got very confusing. And I think what they should have done actually is had power going to the house. You know how they were rigging up the battery from the car and all that sort of stuff? That was just a waste of time.
But this is 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, it's a waste of time, 30 minutes of it. And then going over what's in the boxes and putting, setting the generator up and then hooking up. All that stuff's bullshit. We don't want to watch that in a horror. We don't need to watch it. Just do it. And then start the investigation. For fuck's sake.
What do we look for? Right. Think of a paranormal movie, okay? An entity is attached itself to a location. In this case. So therefore, what does the entity want? Why can't it move across? What is the history of the location? And is the location actually related to the entity's death?
Exactly.
None of that gets answered. Or even looked at.
Nope.
No, none of it. Not even the history of it. We know there is a family that lived in this house. We know nothing else about the history of the house.
We know nothing. And that, you're right, actually. So instead of them fluffing around with all the equipment, we could have had some backstory.
Doing research on the property. And here's another thing that bugs me. See laptop screens with the superimposed video over the top? The CGI, but I hate that. It winds me up. It's such a 2000s thing.
It is.
It's so jarring. It's like, and I know the technology wasn't like up to date like now, but still, that superimposing a TV screen essentially on top of a laptop is crap. I hate it.
It is.
I hate it. It's like digital blood. Don't do it. It's shit.
Yeah.
It just takes me out.
Yeah.
Research the property, have deeds or
Yes.
Do you know what? Go to the local town. I know they're doing a contained one location, but you're telling me they couldn't have done a shot in the local library. So they set up the stuff in the house.
Yep.
Then they went left, come to the town, picked up the first set of recordings. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they went to stay, and then they brought the stuff with them, the microfiches or printouts or websites that were told, blah, 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 blah. And then they came back, got the birds out of the way, because you were just waiting for the thing to get squished or something. Like, they were just setting you up for that, and it was pointless.
Yeah, it was.
This is old hat, cheap tricks, cheap movie tricks that are so overdone, even by 2015. So overdone that they don't have any impact anymore. You're just like, okay, when's this going to happen? There, it's happened. There's no shock anymore. It's done.
No, didn't scare me. Didn't do anything. I only jumped once, and that was because they made it like that. They gave you a slow burn, and then they chuck in a pound where the house just goes boom. You know, and that made me jump out of my skin for a second. But then they used it over and over again, and it's like, nah, it's boring. It's boring. How many jump scares can you have in one movie that doesn't work?
And the same one.
And the same one. Exactly. So, and then
also,
this
they have a psychic. I'll draw you across to The Conjuring again. Vera Farmiga's character, she steps back into that world using their psychic abilities, so we actually get the shots of her experiencing what happened.
That's right.
So therefore, you're in part of the story.
Yep.
Did they do that?
Why not use? Yep. Nope.
Nope.
We could have used that. That's right.
I couldn't find any budget information in this film, but it's obviously a tiny to micro budget sort of.
Yes. Oh, it must have been, because I mean the film commission wasn't even involved. So I mean this film could have done $5,000 blimmin', you know.
They just should have just made a short and released it on YouTube. As much as I've just spent 10 minutes slagging off YouTube, but you know, 2015 you could have put it on YouTube and made money.
Yeah, back then you could have. Yeah, that's right.
So make it a 45-minute short, stick it on, and you probably would have made more money than try to get it to the dopey festivals.
Yeah, well, because I don't think this was released in the cinemas. I doubt very much this was released in the cinemas. A lot of horrors from New Zealand don't make it to the cinema, so I don't think so. Yeah, what I found interesting was Jed Brophy, who plays Liam. He's actually he's been in Brain Dead, Heavenly Creatures, Hercules, Xena.
I recognise them.
Yeah, The Lord of the Rings, King Kong, District 9 even, Killer Sofa, the one we watched, The Hobbit. He's in all of them. Mm-hmm. My God, even plays an orc. So, yeah, it's fascinating.
So this was premiered at the SIGS Film Festival in 2015.
Right.
It was released in New Zealand on October 2015. IFC Midnight released it in the US. Scream Factory released it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, okay.
2016.
Didn't go to cinema.
So it wasn't even the cinema, it was a film festival, and then went through Scream Factory.
Yeah.
Busy direct order.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's based on an urban legend of a haunted farmhouse in central Otago, New Zealand.
The scenery was beautiful.
He even made a comment about that, you know, shit house, lovely view.
Yeah, shit house, lovely view. That's right. Yeah, Otago.
Oh my God, you found that one. No, that is I think that's still my favorite review. Like we bust ourselves laughing at that one.
That was hilarious. Yeah, I had a sore gut from that. That was hilarious.
That's us just killing ourselves.
Meanie. Go and find it. You'll have a good laugh.
Yeah, that just that's what started us down this path of looking at New Zealand horror, and
yes,
that one just
it was. Oh God, that was terrible. But yeah, he was in that as well. So he gets around with Peter Jackson quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
Weta was involved in this, but I don't know what they did.
I looked and I didn't see what they did. So
I don't think they even wanted to admit that they
were
maybe they did the bit at the end, you know, that special effects, but that's it. You know, I don't think it did very much because there's
it would have been that. That's about it.
Yeah, there's nothing here. Weta standard.
Nothing on No, not at all. In fact, it might have been one person from Weta possibly that helped with the set, but that's about it. Yeah, they didn't want to admit they helped a crap film. They were doing a favor for Jed, definitely. Yeah.
Scott is so Liam's a pretty standard character. You know what he's about. Cool.
Yep.
Scott's a strange character in this.
He is.
And it's a James Herbert books. It's a series of 3 books. where a psychic investigation hires someone. You need a debunker. You need a cynic,
Yeah,
right?
a
The reason
skeptic
being,
sort of.
you need somebody to go and go, yes, it was the wind, it was this, is that. You need somebody to do that for legitimacy. And
Yeah.
Scott was performing that role, so it got it. But then him and Liam they had him at the start of the movie almost being antagonistic.
Yeah.
Then his character flips, and you're like, oh, that wasn't the same character that walked in the
No,
door. He changed his
I know.
character halfway through the movie, and you're like, why?
Yeah, I think it's because he's been disproven wrong for one thing, is that his scientist brain is wrong, and that, you know, he's seen these things happening. And then I think what was the clincher was he changed because he was like, oh, I can see some monetary value in this. You know, this is the first time this stuff's ever been documented. So then he gets really enthusiastic, and he's talking on the phone with the family, and it's almost like they're coming up with some sort of thing about how can we get this on TV, or how can we get this out into the world, because no one's ever documented that. So it really came down to him being greedy, I think, and when he saw the opportunity of making money off this, I think that's what brought it out of him.
But the way they wrote the script, they had him like he's a true believer. He went from being he's a cynic, but then we've always been looking for this. We've always been trying to do this. Why are we going to run
Yeah.
away now? We've actually found something. You know, his character completely flips on its head. It's not even,
Yes.
it's very, very
It's not
clunky.
obvious. Yes, that's right. It's not obvious why he did it. You have to use your brain, and we don't want to have to use our brains, right? We want it. It's a horror. We want to be able to have it in front of us. We don't. It's not a psychological thriller or horror that we have to work out, because they haven't set it up like that.
It's not a mystery.
So
we're
it's
not
not a
getting...
mystery. And the thing I like, when they started putting sallies around the door because of the draft of the wind might have moved the monitor or something. There's a massive big hole in the window. Are you gonna fix the window first? There's a draft coming in. It's coming in the window, you bozos. They're doing up the side of the doorway. I'm thinking, oh my god, this is gonna be nuts. Even I know, you know, and I don't know much.
It's
different.
I think they're trying to do too much, or
yes.
or they didn't have enough scenery or something. They're trying to keep it contained, but they didn't have enough there to fill the time. I think this is all down to time. They're trying to fill a feature-length movie, and they only have a material for a short.
Yeah.
And you can just see them floundering.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of walking around and a lot of wasting time, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, that it just didn't work. It just didn't work. Lots of levels, lots of things not working in it, and I don't know how they could produce a movie like that and see the finished product and still think it was okay to release it as a film. Was just like, I don't know.
Well, I think it's because of the investment, and that they kind of have no choice.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oops. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you could be right there. Yeah. Yeah. I would say budget constraints was probably a problem.
And of course, it's more about getting your name in the film festival circle than the actual end product. It's just being there as the door opener, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's right.
Funny enough, that's why I have no interest in making films. I've thought about it, you know, and I'm like, I have zero interest. And actually, I don't want to spend 3-4 days on the trop. Maybe 20 years ago, but now I don't want to spend 3-4 days on the trop with a bunch of people.
No, I'm not
trying to get
interested
something
in it
done,
either.
dealing with personalities and egos, and
oh god, yeah.
And that's even people are getting along, you know what I mean? And you as well got the random person if you cast someone and you don't know them and blah blah blah. I think I got burned out, dealt with voice actors, and that was enough.
Yeah.
That was enough with voice actors. So actually dealing with actors and stuff, and having to look, you know, just the headache of it. I just have no interest.
No, you
And
really have to.
if I was going to do something, it would have to be exceptional
Yeah.
because I couldn't be a movie reviewer and not that would have to be. And if it didn't reach that, I would bin the project.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference.
Yeah.
Is if I watch this back and I made it, I would bin it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. That's what
I
I
would take the
mean.
hit. And I'll have people sue me, and I wouldn't care. It would
Yeah.
just be like,
Yes. 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 Oh, I don't know. I couldn't do it. Anyway.
that's not what this is. That's the thing. This is what they were hinting at, but then Scott's character completely changes. He becomes a different character altogether.
Yeah.
Even his speech and the script changes as if it's a different character.
Yeah. 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 There's a lot of stuff we don't know. And I think they try to be ambiguous about things and add mystique and all that, but at the end of the day, they didn't do themselves a justice. They could have cut down all that equipment rubbish. They could have cut that down and put in storylines of them just sitting there talking, catching up, maybe reading through on an internet search on your phone, the details of the house and the history and some stuff that's happened to the previous owners, how it was made. Why did you guys all get together in the first place? There's things like even Liam on the phone, on the video, talking to his wife and his kids. Why isn't his wife going, why you're staying there with a 21-year-old? Oh, okay. Are you sleeping in the same room? Oh, is she pretty? Come on. This is
Actually,
authentic.
if they had brought that up, I'd have just cringed. I just went, no.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was off. It was off. Yeah. Especially when he went into her bedroom and she's lying there like a teenager does with her boyfriend in the room while they're doing homework or something, and there's this random as old man looking at you, and it's like, oh,
yeah, like I said, it was completely miscast.
What's wrong? Yep.
Completely miscast. And
we can't look past that. It's a real big issue. Yeah.
And also, this is not for teenagers.
It's not.
So what are they trying to?
It's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is not even with that. This is not a movie teenagers are going to watch.
They're not even going to be interested.
We watched loads of movies. We watched thoughtful movies. We watched slow movies. And this was a drag.
Yeah.
So a teenager's not even going to entertain this in the first place. So
no.
Who's this for?
So who's it for? That's right. It was for the director. That was about it. I think this is probably the worst one Jed Brophy's actually been part of, I'd say. Yeah, it's probably one of his worst ones. He's better as an orc.
But so we'll have this thing, and of course the 3 a.m. trope, which is like,
oh no, I know.
Because funny enough, find what the waves talking about demons. That's the whole idea. 3 a.m. the spirit realm opens up, and demons can cross over. That's where all that comes from.
And isn't that weird that before 2010, the witching hour was 12 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden it's 3 a.m.
That's because of two idiots on YouTube. I can't remember the name of the channel, but they did this thing at 3 a.m.
The 3 a.m. challenge.
Yeah. Something. Anyway, I never watched it. I only heard about it.
Yeah.
Once again, these are people, these are edgelords going, well, I'm not going to do the midnight thing. I'm going to do this. Then make my own thing.
Yeah.
And
make it 3:33 every morning. Yep. Exactly.
Because that's half a 666.
Yeah, I know. It's mocking the Holy Trinity. Blah 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 blah.
Nah.
Yeah, yeah. And I wanted to see the damn demon. I wanted to see him. Why can't you show us the demon?
Because they didn't have the budget. But oh my god, when they got the fog machine out.
Oh, that's so ancient, it's ridiculous, and it didn't even oh my god.
We
We
could at
got to
least have
see
some disco
somebody.
lights. They should have brought some disco
Well,
lights rather than strobes. Some hardcore rave, and have the
yeah,
demon coming out, you know,
exactly.
with glow sticks.
Yeah,
That would have
yeah,
been funny.
yeah, it would have been awesome. Yeah. Oh, crikey.
So every morning at 3 a.m. and the demon slash entity doesn't bother them at all during the day. Just this one time, he comes in and goes ooga booga up the corridor, stops at the door, ooga booga, ooga, and then walks out again. That's it.
Yeah. And it's bullshit at the end of the day, sorry, but, demons don't walk in and out of your house, buddy. They're there for good. They
And
don't come and
also,
go. Who the hell wrote this? Jesus. Loves you. Oh my goodness, you know what I mean? Who wrote this script?
I would just like to take
Far
this
out.
moment to apologize to Calvin McCarthy. I know Cameron and I slagged off your first movie. We went hard on it, but at least you made an effort, mate, and I do apologize for that because these guys aren't even trying. It's really annoying. At least you tried a bit of comedy on it. If you ever go back and watch this, these guys aren't even trying. Like, this is
No.
lazy. Now to think about it, it's
Yeah,
lazy.
it is. It is. There's nothing's gone into it. I do not see that they worked well together at all. I don't see what we usually see in movies and independent movies or whatever. You know, we usually see some sort of chemistry between everybody, and there's nothing there.
Yeah, because it's
No.
normally a small, tight knit cast. You know,
Yep.
and
With
people
it.
work. The production team work together, and that's
Yep.
the longer they work together, the more they bounce off each other.
That's right.
Once again, I'll
I
bring
kind.
Calvin into the thing. 7th Street, you
Yep.
see from his first movie, and you see now that the main troupe are together. And you just did Acre Stars, didn't you? Return of the Corn Zombies.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
see
Oh, is that
Macbeth
Equistar?
and
Oh. Yep.
Mia,
Yep.
all
Yep.
those guys, and Anne and that they've all worked together now, and they have a chemistry between them.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
usually what you find with a small production is that,
Yes.
seeing people work together, and then it's easier for them to bounce off and they know each other. And then even if they introduce somebody new in, at least the core cast is there, so they
Yes.
can become part of the team.
Yeah, that's
These are
right.
just these are just people thrown together for a job.
Yeah, and
And
there's only 3 people. That's it.
um,
There's 3 people.
when you've got a small cast, it has to be character acting. You've no other choice.
It's got to be. You can't do the atmospheric stuff, man. It doesn't work. It's lots of stuff did not land. Yeah.
Holly did not sell me, and
No.
it's only when they started bringing in the special effects that she started getting a bit, she's something to like move or dodge from, but she did not, her personality does not extend beyond the end of her nose. And I don't know whether
No.
it's, I've never seen her before, don't know what else she's been
Neither.
in, but
Got no
this,
idea.
you need 3 strong character actors to pull this off. And you
Yeah.
need a good script that lets them, like, every time they go and try something. Do you remember we did this? And bring back the previous jobs and then solve a problem. Make it
Yeah.
like a MacGyver type. Oh, do you remember this one? Oh yeah, God. Yeah, we could try that again. Right, boof.
Yes.
And you've got some
Exactly.
context. This? No.
No. Oh, crikey.
Okay, so then they decide, the ghost keeps coming in, ooga booga, woo woo, it gets more intense. So Holly decides she's going to do a cleansing. At the
Oh,
same time,
lady.
Scott is going to get his bass boomer out. I think
Yeah. Oh,
you've seen a cleansing of a house.
yes.
It's not
Yes.
that.
Yes. No. 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 It's not just sage sticks.
If you're going to
And,
perform magic, you need to be emotionally invested and
oh,
prepared to
yeah.
actually perform magic.
Yeah. Oh, look, I was pissed off with her from the beginning. I mean, come on, who walks around a house and just goes, "Are you here with us?" Is there anybody here with us? Over and over and over again. Ask better questions. Oh my God, are you supposed to be psychic and you can't even ask the right questions, lady? What are you doing?
But
Oh,
also,
it's because I'm 20 and I don't know
yeah,
what I'm doing,
I've no life experience and not done this. This has only
Yeah,
just come up. Yeah.
yeah,
Once
yeah,
again,
it's only
that's that is the big spanner, isn't it? It's her,
yeah,
and it's not
yeah.
her fault. She was wrongly cast.
No. But what happens is then it rubs off on the 2 other actors who are quite famous over here, obviously. They're
Mhm.
very, very famous actors, and in their own right, they are actually extraordinary actors. But then you bring in a new face and someone that they don't know, and she's actually bringing the cast down. And that's quite sad because those other 2 are really, really high profile actors. And then what was it, a favor to somebody? Does somebody's daughter want to be in a film? You
Yeah.
know, that's what I'm
Did
thinking it was
did the
made
director
for.
just want a golf chick running around in the short shorts and stuff just for the sake of it?
Exactly. Just
Go
because it's
go pay
like,
money on a
it's
street corner for that. Don't bring it into your movies. Fucking hell.
exactly. It was so off. It was off. It was so ridiculously off. Yeah, I just don't know why they did it. Why?
But then
Why?
when it comes down to it, when the things started getting hurried up, Scott and Liam
She
both.
wanted, yeah.
And you're like, oh, you pair of shitheads, what the hell?
They left her in the house by herself. They shut the door.
They noted between each other, giving a signal. They never told her.
No, they just
So it's
left
not
her
like
in
they're just
there.
run in terror. They could be at a signal. And you're like, what the
Oh,
There was a definite bit where they're nodding to each other, 1, 2, 3, go. And they never
go
tapped her on the
1, 2,
shoulder or
3.
anything. They just left
No,
her. So that wasn't even fear.
no, exactly. I'm so ashamed of New Zealand horror today because of this freaking movie. Oh my gosh. There's
I need to look
so
this up
much
again.
wrong with it. It just actually a lot of it didn't make sense to me. And when that happens, there's something wrong.
Let me look up Jason Stutter. What else has he done?
Yes, that's actually a good point.
I'm curious now.
Names
You know the point of right? Okay, is this guy
related to, yeah, there's all
careful with
these.
that axe, careful with that power tool, freaky. So he's only done 4 movies. Or hang on, no, wait, here's his full thing.
Oh, haven't heard of any of them.
Careful with that. So he seems to have a series. Careful with that crossbow. Careful. What are these?
Never heard of them. I've heard of him. Maybe he's
Tongan Ninja. Oh God.
a Tongan ninja. Oh
Yeah,
my
there's
god.
another movie he's got called Tongan Ninja. That sounds like
Oh,
American Ninja, but
but in Tonga.
a cautionary tale in which a boy becomes an oh god, he's told the same story about 3 times here. These are comedy short. A cautionary tale in which a boy becomes intrigued by his dad's wood chopping axe with nasty results. Right, so
Oh dear.
his whole stick seems to be these like shorts with 2 or 3 actors or
Actors.
characters in it.
Right.
Freaky. An anthology series consisting of 13 shows, each with 3 stories in each show. Shows broadcast in New Zealand. Right, so he must have done an episode of that. So he's been part of an anthology. Diagnosis mystery. So he's only. What's predicament? What's that about? I have no interest in coming of age crime comedy, right?
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a.
Hmm.
He's
He's
not a
not a
horror.
horror the director, no.
Nope.
He's going off other franchises like Scream and yeah, the teenage trope.
That's it. He's just stick a girl
Yeah.
stick a girl in golf stuff. That'll
Yeah.
work. I don't means I don't have to make any effort. If she just prances about in her shorts,
Yeah.
that'll do. Oh dear.
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't even got to the worst bit.
So they discover anyway. The ghost goes a woogie boogie woo woo up the corridor and stops at a door and can't pass into the room.
No. No.
And I was calling it dead body buried underneath it or basement. I was calling it.
I didn't see it coming.
I
knew
knew
there was
I wasn't
something there,
expecting to be
but
as
no, no.
convoluted. I was expecting to lift floorboards
Yep.
and that be it.
Yep. Yep.
You know, something like that. I wasn't expecting it to be clever enough, like being warded or anything.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that. I knew it was going to be something simple and silly.
Yes. But see, even that, I mean, okay, so what does that mean, that they did a cleansing in the room once upon a time ago? Did they put salt and holy water on the doorway? What did they do? Why do we not know? And how the hell did that guy, Liam, see the mist when he's not even psychic and he hasn't even seen anything else happening, really? So it's kind of like that basement kind of made no sense. If you know what I mean, the layout of the house, how did you not see that there was a extra bit?
Well, they
I don't
never
know,
showed. They
just
only showed us the front of the house, so that's why I'm convinced
exactly.
the front of the cabin is not. That's not the interior of that cabin.
Oh, without a doubt. No, it's
That's just,
not.
you know, I
It
mean,
can't
they've done
be.
the flick to the stage set and
Yeah,
they've, yeah, fair enough.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I have to admit, a lot of the farmhouses here, they do look like they're small. And then when you look on the side, it's just like, holy moly, it's ginormous. You know, you wouldn't see, but they've extra added onto the back, but not in this case. No, it's old and run down. It's been there for 100 years,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
It's more like a shed,
So,
you know, but that's.
yeah, that's what it looked like, right?
So then they went over convoluted with the set. And you just lose all, like, even from that moment, you've lost all concept of. I've always said ground the reality before you accept the fantastical. And this is an
Yes,
example of if a house looks like a certain size, make it a certain size.
that's right.
That way, in your head, you know what the structure, you know, what I mean, you know what gravity
Yep.
is, you know what dimensions and
Yes.
that. Then when something goes off, you accept it because, oh, that's going against what's normal. When you can't even ground the size of the house they're in,
The
that it
setting.
looks like
Yep.
a stage set,
Yep.
you,
Yep.
you just can't. That's it. You're gone. You're not investing. You're not
No, you've lost
suspending
it.
disbelief.
Yeah. And the other thing also is that you know, they didn't check all the rooms. We didn't get to see every single room. So we don't get to actually have a solidified visual of what the actual house looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So then it just, to me, that's lazy, because you know, in an actual paranormal investigation, you're going to check out every single room, the attic, the basement, if there's any, which we don't usually have those here in New Zealand, but you know, you check out every room. We didn't even get to see every room. Sorry, me yelling. But you know, it's not believable. I can't have that concept in my head of the house being haunted by a demon when we can't see the demon and we don't know what the rest of the house looks like. It just didn't make any sense. You know, I just don't know. And the
Yeah.
separation, then how they separate, you don't do that in a house. I know you mentioned something about shifts, going on shifts. They don't
Oh,
do
that's
that.
right.
That's
Because
why.
go to bed, they all go to sleep.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's normal. That's normal. They'll keep static cameras running, you know, all night to capture things, which is what they were doing the next day, was rewatching the footage. They don't have those night shifts anymore like they used to in the old days. But even that, I mean, you know, it's just lazy. It's I don't know, it's just lazy.
Mm.
Lazy writing, separating as well is not good. You know, and you don't, I mean, I don't know. If that was me and I was a man and I would have, you know, there's this young girl here, I'm going to look after her, right? Like my daughter or
Yeah, but
my
not even that.
granddaughter.
She's a psychic. She's actually connected to the spirit world, so they're going to latch onto her. So she's the one most at risk.
That's right. That's what I mean.
So
She's
that's the one you
vulnerable.
protect.
She's young. That's the one you protect. You don't go and camp out with your mate in the other room and leave her by herself. You bring her with you, and she sleeps on the bed or on the couch or whatever. You don't
Brings it.
separate.
I don't know. was there not enough in the budget for 3 camp beds?
Exactly.
I mean, the other 2 are on camp
Where's
beds with sleeping bags.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the extra stuff for her? She has to go sleep in a room at the other end of the house by herself. That's terrifying. Nobody would do that.
And plus,
You wouldn't do that to your mate, to
yeah,
your coworker or whatever, you know. You just don't do that to your other team member. Yeah.
no.
So what I think might have happened, right? Get this. Here's my crazy theory. I
Oh,
think
hold on, okay, let me grab my tinfoil hat. Look.
Yeah. I think they cast an older character firstly, but it didn't work out. So they had to use her instead. Because it doesn't make sense to have you either choose an older cast or you choose a younger cast. You don't have both. It doesn't work. So my theory is that they actually maybe did not have the right actress in the first place because the other one didn't want a bar of it. She read the script and said, it sucks. I don't want to be a part of this. So they took the next person who was willing to do it. And that's a 20-year-old that wants to have her names in the credit.
Yeah, just wants first job probably, or
yeah, or it could be a niece. Niece, yeah. Baby sister.
Yeah. Or they've just can't, right, we need a random goth chick because that's going to bring all the teenage boys in because,
Yeah, exactly.
This movie, yeah, that's a teenage boy. Even with that, they're not going to flick and watch something else.
No, they're not. No, they're not going to watch.
And plus the fact they're going through teenagers don't go to film festivals. So the fact that they're aiming, my red flag of this is the fact that it goes to a film festival. There's something about the film festival circuit and crowd that most of these movies go to, and they're not meant for general audiences. They're meant for a certain crowd, and it's all
niche market,
circle
definitely.
jerking, patting each other in the back. It's that sort of thing, not meant to see the light of day.
Yeah, I guess you've got a point there because you have to think, who's my audience? Am I going to take this to the cinema? Is it good enough to go to the cinema, or am I going to do the film festivals route and then just get picked up by a streaming platform or a distributor, win awards? That's about it. That's all really film festivals about, isn't it?
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. And I look at this guy, the director, and he doesn't impress me.
No,
he doesn't impress me.
No, I think he's just probably got money that he might have, and he's just put some money into a film and thinking it's going to be good. And in actual fact, you need to stay away from directing horror movies, mate, and you better get a better writer while you're at it.
That's
because it was shit. Sorry. I actually enjoyed watching it, but at the end of it, I didn't, if you know what I mean. Like, I didn't feel...
I thought it was going somewhere.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And I mean, it was just weird. It was a conundrum, really, because I watched it. I was enjoying watching it, but then by the end of it, I felt like I wasted an hour and 20 minutes. You know what I mean? So
yeah, because there's no payoff.
Yeah, exactly. There was no payoff, and yeah.
And oh my god, the CGI glass.
Oh, I know what they tried to do, but it didn't work. They tried to make it so that it looked like it was just somebody was on the other side. I don't know. And then it just, it was stupid. That's what they wasted their money on. That bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's sitting with that one bit and he's like, as if it's, oh my God. Like, no. I've picked out bigger scalps of wood.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If it had been like pockmarked and stuff, I would get it, but it was horrible.
Yeah, I think that was their attempt at doing something gross to add into it, by pulling that out. And to me, that was just like, I could have done that myself with my freaking, I didn't need somebody else, you cry baby. Yeah. You big pussy. Mummy's boy.
That did not land at all.
There's a lot of things that didn't land. to be honest.
But this is when them trying to bring up the tension, do you know what I mean? And it just had the opposite effect. That's CGI glass for a start. And then just him making a scene with the one tiny bit of glass that, you could put out your finger.
Stupid. Didn't make sense. No.
I've picked out bigger things and more stabby things going through bushes, like brambles and stuff.
Yes, I bet.
And you're just like, nah, not buying
it. No. Oh, God.
So with no context to who this ghost is or why it's doing it, then they wipe it out with the base. Because, okay. Because and I knew it was something was going to come back. I was like, okay, is it going to come back or it didn't work or blah, blah, blah. This isn't the payoff.
No.
Then, like you said, Liam's in the room and somebody turns on the smoke machine. They obviously rented the smoke machine, need to get their money's worth because...
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I just don't know. I don't know. That mist didn't do it for me. I'm just like, oh, okay. If this is a dead room, why is there mist? You know what I mean? It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Who's allowed in that room and who's not? Who's the demon? And then they're punching a hole in the wall, and it's like, why the hell are you punching a hole in the wall? And then I see the stairs, and I'm like, how the hell did that even fit in the house? You've confused me. I
was expecting a body behind the wall. Honestly, that's what I was
exactly what I thought. That's what I was
trying
hoping.
To get back and
Oh, why didn't they just do that? Why didn't they just have a skeleton behind the wall, make the wall small so that, it's actually a skeleton that's standing up so that it looks actually like it would fit in the house. Yep. And somebody's done the wall up. That makes complete sense.
And then we'll just find out that such and such went missing. They were murdered,
back
blah, blah, blah.
1900s. Yep, mystery solved. The house is cleansed. Everything's okay. But no. Oh, no. We can't do that. That's too easy. So let's put an elaborate thing in there where there's a demon
Not
down
even
in
a realistic basement.
Oh, it's not. We don't even have basements here. Exactly. It's like, and there's grass in it, and it's like, nah, man, this is nah. And then, oh God, and then we see what's down in the basement. It's like not even a basement. It's like some sort of
full-on chamber. You know what I mean?
It is behind a big iron door. How the heck?
If you're gonna put that much effort, fucking build a better house.
Exactly.
Building all that massive infrastructure, then build a decent house on top of it, not a ramshackle cabin.
Why? Why not? Why did it have to be a farmhouse? Why couldn't it have been an actual house that had freaking power? And we can actually. Why did it have to be run down?
They would have had to have wrote 30 minutes of dialogue.
Oh,
to fill up the time instead of switching on machines.
I was actually
15, at least 15 to 20 minutes with that bloody generator.
That's what I mean. That was a waste. Put it in a house that's got freaking power. Oh my goodness.
And secondly, you built the stage, so don't say you didn't have the location because you built the freaking stage.
You
so all I had to do is film the front part of a house and do the same thing, but
take a photo of a different house. It didn't have to be that house. Why? Because you got
spooky
it for
cabin
free?
in the woods. Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. Whoop-de freaking heck.
No, it's based on an urban legend about a farmhouse.
Yeah, no, it's rubbish. There's no urban legend about it. There's urban legends. We're going to go at every blimmin' old farmhouse in New Zealand's haunted. Everybody knows that. My goodness. Yeah. Bloody hell. It's all because you built it on Māori sacred burial lands. That's why. Why didn't they use that trope? Why didn't they have a Māori chief lock, I don't know. Why didn't they just have a body in the bloody wall?
Oh, they built it in the burial ground so it's a Māori chief coming to, chase
exactly.
And then we'll get Illyria and Minogue turn up.
Oh, I wish it was them. Those cops were bozos. One of them didn't even. Oh God, I loved it when they were thrown
I love the
across
fact
the
that
room, though.
2 police officers turn up when they say there's a body.
Yeah, 2
Socko
cops.
doesn't turn up, or do you use Socko or
No.
CSI?
Yeah,
Being a
we
crimes
use a
officer or
crime scene
investigator,
investigators.
right? Okay.
Yep. Forensics, the coroner, they all turn up.
Yeah.
No, just 2 police officers. Beat cops, by the way.
Not even
They weren't
detectives.
sergeants or detectives. Yeah. And they looked at, they were standing there looking at these guys like, you guys must be mental. And then all of a sudden they're picked up and thrown across the room. That was the best bit of having them there, was them thrown across the room. Sorry, that made me laugh. I loved it. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was just
that's all it was there for. There
Yeah.
was no investigation, and then all of a sudden then it all goes haywire. Yeah. Oh dear.
So it turns out, because there's no evidence, like it's just Holly guesses. Oh, the ghost was trying to keep us away from that room because that's where a demon's locked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
But this proves my theory.
Yep.
This movie proves my theory.
Which one's that?
Ghosts are stupid.
Ghosts are stupid.
So
they are stupid.
He keeps trying to charge up to the door and chase everyone instead of standing by the door, not letting anybody in. Because everyone's walking in that bedroom and he can't go, and hello, you there, talk to me. Don't go into the room. Bad danger. No. Crash, bang, bang, bang. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even think it was a demon. I think it was a teenager throwing a hissy fit. I would have expected more from a demon, actually, or a ghost, but no, you're right. And definitely in this movie, the ghosts are stupid and they don't know what they're doing. And that sucks, because you want a ghost to be, full on scary and all that sort of stuff, because it's a horror, but no. We don't even get to see it.
Even better than that.
Well,
if the ghost didn't turn up, the demon would have still been under there. Nobody would have bothered.
That's right.
Everyone would just live their lives peacefully. And as long as the septic tank didn't rupture, nobody would ever be smashing through that to go anywhere. No. It would just stay.
Yeah. And job then done. Carry on as normal. Yeah, sorry, your house isn't haunted. Yeah.
So I'm the ghost. I'm protecting people, not wanting to let the demon out. So I'll go and just scare people and draw attention to it.
Yeah, and scare them into the dead room.
Also, okay, even better, you build this elaborate demon trap underground. Why the fuck do you build a house on top of it then? Just fucking cover the thing.
That's right. That's what I mean. It made no sense.
Lock, pat, plant a couple of trees.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it. That's exactly right. That's what a normal person would do. You would not go and build a house over something like that. And that's why it obviously was haunted, because of that. But we didn't know that, because we haven't been told jack shit. We don't know anything.
So, even better if it was done in modern times. There's this stuff called concrete.
Yeah.
You get a cement mixer.
Yep.
So chain her up, bury her in, fill the thing up with concrete. Poof, done.
Yep, that's right. How easy is that?
Nobody's digging into that. No, too easy.
Then that's done. Yeah.
No, let's build a house. Let's build a ladder for a start, right?
Yeah.
And don't even fill in, right? Not even going as far as concrete. Don't take the ladder out for a start. Nobody's going down there. Fill that bit in with soil.
Yes. Knock the house down, for one thing.
Put wards and
falling
stuff
down anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, but even if you're going to have a house on top of it, so nobody else builds there, freaking fill that bit in with soil so nobody else digs down.
Yeah.
This was dumb. Now to think about it, I was actually more forgiving when I first watched it, but now it's one I've thought about it. This movie is just...
Yep. That's what I mean.
Hello?
I enjoyed watching it because we were reviewing it, but seriously, if I didn't have to watch it, I wouldn't have continued. No, definitely not.
If I wrote this, I'd be embarrassed.
Yeah, me too.
I would be embarrassed. I would never show this.
If I was a director, I'd be looking into doing something else completely, like
I'd be
maybe
like,
doing
this isn't for me.
cartoons for children or something, or
I wouldn't trust
voiceovers.
the
I don't
scale
know.
cartoons.
No. Oh, seriously.
Yeah, it's a policy of this channel that ghosts are stupid because
they are.
every haunted movie, everything they do, they never... They concentrate more on the tropes than actually... if I had a half-intelligent ghost that could communicate, it would solve a lot of problems, but ghosts need to be stupid because if not, half the movies wouldn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's sad when, I mean, that could have actually been quite a good concept, but they ruined it. Yeah, they ruined it by, I don't know, just lots of things that just, how, it feels like the plot was not finished. It feels like there was no actual plot, and it felt unfinished and unresolved, and that is not good. When people are watching a film, we want to have an ending, and the ending was just stupid.
Did you see the end of credits scene?
So what?
There's an end of credits scene.
No, I didn't. I went forward to see it, and there was nothing there.
So at the very end, all it does is send her back onto the stairs again, and the smoke comes up.
Really? Oh my God!
Please give me a sequel.
So stupid.
Please give me a sequel. I want to do this again.
Oh no. Okay. So if you're saying that that's at the end of the credits, why? Why do people do that? They need to do it before the end of the credits because, I've had enough of this film. I don't want to read the credits and I don't want to wait to see what happens afterwards. So now you're telling me they tried to say there's going to be a prequel or a sequel, sorry, or a cliffhanger. Why? Why not wrap it up? Why not? Why didn't the house burn down mysteriously? Oh my God.
Yeah, this is nah. But there you go. There's that. That was a thing we watched.
Don't waste your time, guys. Oh my God. And you know what? People think I only pretend to do reviews. That I only, I pretend to do reviews by, just saying, oh, it's all great. And, there's all this wonderful stuff about this independent film. And, and I'm pretending because, thank you. I'm pretending because, I'm a people pleaser and that. And I'm like, bullshit. Come and watch my reviews. Yeah, come watch my reviews with Colin. Oh my God. Dude, we don't sit here and go, oh God, that was great when it sucked. No. So there. It takes a lot to review something, We actually have to use our brains.
And I think that's where it gets more offensive when we're trying to figure things out and make sure we're giving a full account of the story and doing it justice, and then when it becomes obvious the people creating it don't give a shit, that's where it becomes egregious.
It is.
And when it feels just thrown together, which this does, that's where you're like, I'm wasting my time. Why did you do this?
What a waste. I mean, I don't know.
Have you given a bad review on your channel yet?
Have I done a bad review?
Yeah. Have you reviewed something on your channel you don't like?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done it. Yeah, and I tell you, that person didn't want anything else to do with me after that.
Oh, did you get a hissy fit? Yes,
No,
that's when you know you've made it. When somebody throws a hissy fit at your
no, I got blocked, I think.
really
I think I'm blocked. I'll tell you afterwards who it is.
fantastic. That's wonderful. That you've made it.
And he's
That's it.
from your channel.
Oh, great.
But yeah, we'll talk about that afterwards.
All
Yeah,
right.
no,
Okay.
I think he blocked me. That's what happens sometimes. They don't like you to point out the things. Like, okay, I didn't see
Well,
any blood on the knife.
hand on heart, anybody I know that has let me see their work and I've given a review, and I've always appreciated my feedback, apart from one person.
Right. It's
And
probably
you
the
know who
same
that is.
person. Oh, right. Yes.
Only
No,
one
not the same
person's through.
person.
That was from your channel. Who threw a hissy fit. Friggin' I even made a like I said, Cameron and I ripped this first movie apart, and we're mates now. Do you know what I mean? He's like, "Oh, do it again. Got to come on your channel." And sure, love the bloke. He's great. That's what, but then again, that's when you know somebody is destined to do.
Serious.
You know,
Yep.
there's no ego. They appreciate, and I believe in constructive feedback. You know, I don't believe shit. You know what I mean. With done this long enough. It's about give the reasons why you don't like something.
That's
That's
right.
constructive feedback, and I'm always forgiving. If I believe somebody's tried to entertain you, I'll forgive a lot of things. But this is money laundering or clout chasing or just making something to say. It's just lazy, and it shows.
Yeah, it does. It's lazy. It's very lazy. Yeah, and whoever chose the cast, she needs her head read. Definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it.
Especially when you've got a small cast and an enclosed location, characters are everything.
Oh, they're the most integral bit of the whole production is choosing the correct cast. Yeah.
If you've big ensemble cast, if you've loads of special effects, you can maybe let that slide a bit because you've got other things to distract. But there's no distraction. So you have to be on point, clear storyline. And if you're going to subvert or do twists, make them make sense.
Oh, they didn't even land. The twist didn't even land. The twist was that the demon was protecting them in the first place. That doesn't make sense.
There are better thought out episodes of Creepshow and The Twilight Zone.
Exactly.
Actually, better thought out episodes that you feel like you've watched something worthwhile.
Yep.
Than this as a single concerted effort.
Yep. I even have to go so far as to say Killer Sofa was better than this.
At least that was funny. At least we could laugh at that.
Exactly. Yeah.
This, you can't.
Nah, it was bland beige. Bleh. Yep.
Even Midsummer, we can poke at it and have a laugh and enjoy ourselves. This is just like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Nah, what are you doing? Yeah.
But
nah, you need to stop doing what you're doing because you've got no idea what you're doing. John, whatever the heck his name is, Jason Stutter.
Yeah. I have no interest. If I see his name again, he's on my shit list.
Yeah. Nah, definitely.
If I see his name pop up, I'm not watching it.
Nah, I'm not.
That's
nah. No, especially if he's trying to get into the horror genre. No, dude, you need to watch more horrors.
So many do it, and you can tell a mile off.
Yeah, they think they know what they're doing. You know, they really do.
No, they think it's easy. They think horror fans are so stupid and shallow. That's what that's why that's what he's done with Cast and Holly. It's horror fans, so if half her going around the boob tube and shorts and those ankle sock or knee sock things, that'll please them, and I don't need to work.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
it.
That's the arrogance of this guy. That's what he thought. It's only horror fans. I'm only doing this to get my name around so I can do my real movie.
Yeah, or just say I made a horror. Yeah.
I cross all genres. I'm brilliantly, you know.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, arsehole. We don't even know who he is, but we can tell by the quality of your work. It's not very good.
And you don't understand horror.
You don't understand horror. Yeah. Yeah. Horror's one of the hardest ones to it's the hardest genre. It really is. To pull it off, it's the hardest genre. And if people keep thinking that they can go ahead and make shitty horrors and that you're going to go somewhere, no, you're going to go down as one of the worst horror directors of 2015. You know, you need to think about that, guys, before you go and try and jump from something into horror. You know, it doesn't work.
Say, for example, I don't know, say people wanted to read some horror stories by an actual horror author who, you know, enjoys the genre. Is there anything out at the moment?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, I picked this book up.
Oh, right. Who's that by?
Oh, so this is by me, Del Gibson.
Did you like that?
Isn't it great? Oh,
cheesy segue.
Now, I do have to give a warning, please. Do not read it all in one go, okay? Because it gave me nightmares last night. My own book gave me nightmares. Do not digest it in one hit. I know you think you're cool and you can do it all in one hit, but don't, because you're going to have nightmares. But yeah, thank you, Colin. My God, it's just amazing. Look at that. It just, did you try the light reflection stuff?
Yeah, that's why when I did that's why I wanted to get it. I'd love to get it embossed, honestly, just the way the light works. I just I'd love to get an embossed version. I know it costs an absolute blinking fortune.
Oh, maybe we can do that further down the line with some other things.
That would be. I love a special edition emboss. I just think it would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
A bit of silver, you know, actual silver.
Yeah.
And the thing would just that thing would pop out, but
that would. But I mean, it's just fantastic, and it catches the light and the spine. So many people don't do that anymore. It looks amazing. No, thank you, Colin.
I don't know, give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. Which you do.
Jason Stutter.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some lazy people out there, and you're definitely not one of them. So you should be proud of that. Yeah.
But I think that's why it annoys me when I see people that just don't care. And then I see them get all the accolades thrown at them, and I see them getting their wheels greased, and they just slide along and no effort. You're just like,
I know.
But then again, the world isn't fair. You can't.
Yeah. It does feel that way, doesn't it? Some people get it all delivered on a silver platter, and other ones like us have to slog along and, you know, try and get as many views and members and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day,
I wouldn't have it any other way. As in,
exactly,
I want to earn my way.
That's right.
Anything I do, I want to earn it.
Yeah.
And that's everyone that comes on the channel, everyone that views, everyone that trusts me with their work. You know, I want to earn that trust. I want to earn that so that I know that I'm giving 100% and not just down it in.
No, you.
Yes, there's certain things get easier, but that's when you experience, you know, that I know at the start some things I maybe sweated over and then I feel like it's easier, but that's only because I've got experience and solved the bugs.
Yes.
But never have I ever went, nah, throw it out. You know,
no,
it's not in me.
No. It's not. No, that's what I was just going to say. It's actually part of your personality, and that's it. Not only are you anal retentive, possibly, but the quality of your work.
Nobody's ever told me that.
Sorry, but it might be true. But that's great for us because you do things that, you know, just above and beyond what a normal person would do, because normal people are like, oh, you know, I can get away with maybe not putting that in there and that in there, but you don't. You're like, no, I put this in and that, and you know, your attention to detail is phenomenal, and it's not very often you come across books of this quality. The quality's amazing.
No, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you got your copies and
yes, enough. Yeah. So So you have to go out and get your copy, guys. It's great, but don't watch it all. Don't read it all in one hit. Don't do it.
That was funny. Honestly, I'm just like, really?
Yeah. I haven't had nightmare in months and months and months until I read my own book. God. What
There
a
you go,
ning
folks.
nong. Yeah.
Don't watch this movie, but buy that book. Job done.
Yep. Definitely. And the links will be in the description down below.
Yep.
Just to make your life even harder.
That's easy to do.
Oh,
I'll have to change
dear.
this one anyway. Get the
Yes.
stream. I'm glad people found the stream anyway, despite the hiccup.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank
all
you.
right, thanks for turning up. But yeah, as always, thanks for everybody for turning up. And just easy to say, until next time, keep updated with the channel, do the type of things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.